And we're back. So welcome back to the fourth episode of I Finished Watching. Yeah, so at this point, I'm also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I think I set up for, in the episode in the opposite, that my next series probably Parks and Rec, which I am currently watching, but I know that's going to take a longer time to watch, so in the meantime, I'm going to, maybe catch up on, seasons of, shorter shows and also watch some movies, so that's what this is going to be. So, this episode, we're going to talk about Season 1 of Dickinson.
I have one purpose.
Wild nights.
And that is to become a great writer.
You need to cut out these sort of antics.
We're definitely gonna have a war.
She's wild. She'll be the ruin of this family. And she doesn't know how to behave like a proper young lady.
No thanks.
Anybody has heard of that? This is a series on Apple TV, and it was kind of the only, if you saw the series on Apple TV, that was the only one I saw that it was oh, that looks interesting. So I figured, why not watch just 10 episodes. The episodes are fairly short or short-ish. If you don't know, the show stars Haley Steinfeld as Emily Dickinson, the famous poet, through her life. Season 1, 10 episodes, and that's basically it. There's not full plot. There's stuff with her family trying to get her married off, her wanting to be a poet, her dad not really letting her because she's a woman, the time periods, blah blah blah, her relationship with her best friend, her brother who is marrying her best friend, their friendship and romantic relationships, that kind of thing. It's kind of, I would say it's not really, there's no, a season arc, in my opinion. It's more a story, or so slowly driven. You're just kind of following Emily and her friends and family around, which I actually really enjoyed. For the most part, I really liked all the performances. Haley Steinfeld was really good as Emily Dickinson. I don't really know much of her poetry, but I like the stuff that I saw. There's not many other, I'd say, bigger names. The other bigger name is her mom, who's Jane Krakowski, who's always really funny. Her family's probably liked her family a lot. She's got a sister and a brother. They were really fun to watch. Her friend Sue, who's also her romantic interest for a good chunk of the show, she was really fun. There's another guy named George, I believe, who's also a romantic interest who she's not really into, which I found so interesting. There's a lot of stuff about romance and sexuality that I found interesting, especially with Emily and her family wanting her to get married. And I found the storyline with George kind of interesting because he basically says he's in love with her and respects her no matter what, and wants to help her get a poetry published, but he kind of seemed like the type of guy who would, once they got married, would expect her to get into the role of a wife from the 1800s. So I found that interesting. I took notes this time, guys, so unlike the last 3 where I didn't, so yay me. I write that down. Her dad's interesting. I didn't you could tell he loved Emily, but then also had high standards, and I kind of felt he went back and forth a lot of no, women need to do this, but I love the daughter, blah blah blah. Maybe it'll change season 2. I think the show is getting a season 2, which I'm happy about because again, it was a fun show. Yeah. Also back to romance sexuality. It felt because I think Emily Dickinson's real sexuality was pretty much debated because she never married and was a recluse for the rest of her life, which I'm kind of wondering how they're gonna handle later on. Don't know. Guess we'll find out. But I think they were setting her up more as bi, because she did have Sue for a long time. Sue in real life, Susan Gilbert. That's her real name. Who ended up marrying her brother. Thanks Wikipedia. So they kind of set up. They really were best friends and also lovers, but they couldn't be together because 1800s and lesbianism. What are you gonna do? A lot, maybe later on. So that was their love thing, but then I think she clearly did but then Sue also I think had some feelings for her brother, but she was mainly getting married to Emily's brother, her brother William, for I'd say money reasons, because you see her entire family's dead and she kind of needs money, which I totally understand, and that kind of thing. But they were kind of cute. I thought most of the couplings were cute, but she does have this relationship with her father's law clerk named Ben, which is also romantic, and then he unfortunately passes away because of tuberculosis, so good times also. but like you could tell she was also really interested in him. I think they were kind of trying to set her up as like bisexual, or at least like exploring her sexuality, which I do find kind of interesting. Yeah, like they weren't just setting her up as she was like this. She wasn't specifically like a lesbian. She was kind of like, let's see where this goes. I don't know if we're going to go in season 2, but I, kind of like the idea of at least like, let's just like explore the sexuality, because like it's basically all fluid and that kind of thing. There were some like side characters who popped up on occasions. One was Death, who I believe Emily Dixon wrote about a lot, and was like a video like she was in love with Death in the show. It's Wiz Khalifa. He's only in like I think like 3 episodes, but it's pretty interesting the way to set it up. And it's like really, at least like filmmaking wise, really well done. I like the way that the show was filmed, and then a lot of like it was very like atmospheric in some senses, which I liked. And then also, so John Mulaney's in it in 2 episodes, I believe, playing Henry David Thoreau, and I like this because it kind of alludes to the idea that like, we put up these like authors as like, and even artists, like anybody, as like these like high standards, and then but like you kind of wonder, like, if we go back in time and get to know them, are they actually these people? Like the idea with Henry David Thoreau was that kind of like he like lived in a cabin on his own, but like in the show they're kind of saying like he really didn't, like he saw his family a lot, they kind of did his laundry, so like they might say these standards, but like, they might not actually believe it, or like the way that people interpret stuff is kind of all bullshit, which I've always thought for a long time, and I kind of like that we went along with that. I guess like my only negative would be the music choices. That's kind of a personal thing. They use a lot of modern music, which I'm not a fan of using modern music in like period dramas, but that's kind of a personal taste. Sometimes it worked, like the stuff when it was like more like fantastical or like elaborate, or even like that kind of thing, when she was like reading poetry and like the words were popping up, or when she was with Death. I think the modern music worked there, but then other times kind of didn't for me. But that's kind of, again, that's more of a personal taste, so you might really like it. Yeah, I say overall this is a nice show to check out, especially with season 1. I don't know when season 2 is coming out. If you have Apple TV, I know that if you recently got like an Apple device, I think you get a free year, which is how I watched it. So yeah, I'd recommend it. Thanks for watching, guys. You can comment and subscribe and like and share, do all that stuff, please and thank you. Also, I do have a podcast under Woody Close Productions called First Second Fan Reaction. If you want to check that out, we actually just put out a very belated episode on the last Star Wars movie. So go check that out at woodyclose.com on YouTube. And thanks. Bye.
Check me out. I'm a man. I do what I want. I go where I want. I have the right to vote. I can legally own property.
What are they so afraid of?
Maybe they're scared that if they teach us how the world works, we'll figure out how to take over.